Imagine entering the most luxurious ship of its day, the Titanic, where excitement and elegance permeated the air. For those who sailed this great ship before the catastrophe, what was life like? Today's video takes us through 12 breathtaking historical images of the Titanic's passengers. Prepare to meet the people who brought this ship to life and learn the untold tales behind every picture. You won't want to miss these amazing peeks into a world that was glamorous but gone. As we explore these 12 historical pictures of life on the Titanic, prepare to discover the amazing story behind each one. Number 1. The Titanic's luxurious appeal. Imagine boarding a ship labeled as the most luxurious ship on Earth. Underneath the great front of the Titanic, what's the secret? Though at various degrees, first and second class passengers felt the seductiveness of luxury as it set sail. What did second class passengers eat while first class guests savored sumptuous lunches featuring lobster and filet mignon? The Titanic made sure that every passenger, regardless of class, felt pampered, even if their dining experiences were simpler. But how did their trip reflect this contrast? Comparatively to first class, what did second class passengers go through? While they ate, did they ever consider the weight of those differences? What secret culinary pleasures might have startled second-class diners? And what tales of competition might have played out across dinner tables? Number 2. Decadent eats. A dinner in first class and second class differs in what way? On the Titanic, there was a universe difference. Second-class passengers ate simpler but nonetheless fulfilling lunches, while first-class guests ate roast duck and foie gras. Though there was not any flashy cuisine like chicken curry, was there not a feeling of luxury even in the most underprivileged dining situations? Reputed as a luxury cruise liner, the Titanic gave everyone a taste of luxury. How many second-class meals still convey luxury? Perhaps more than the lonely splendor enjoyed by first class. Did those diners find delight in the companionship shared over a simple meal? And during the modest meals in second class, what personal relationships developed? Number 3. Happy times for young people. Before the terrible event happened, have you wondered what life was like for children on the Titanic? Of the 107 children on board, 50 made it. Early pictures caught their happy expressions. These pictures are like mixed memories of innocence before disaster. Which games they engaged in, and which adventures they set off on in this floating palace. With playgrounds similar to modern cruise ships, how did the Titanic bring delight for those young people among the approaching catastrophe? The kids set off on what adventures? What dreams did they dare to communicate with their parents, and how did their naive laughter resound through the ship's stairs? Which enduring memories did these kids carry with them? Even in those last minutes, did any of them discover means to negotiate the dark waters of fear and uncertainty? Number 4. Simple yet fulfilling dining on a ship. Imagine eating among the basics of third-class dining and yet feeling a part of a community. In simple dining rooms, third-class travelers bonded over long tables laden with healthy cuisine, including roast beef with gravy. Dessert turned out to be a little plum pudding. How much such modest gifts bring solace and gratification? In a world when luxury sometimes rules, can a large lunch of meat and potatoes challenge the greatest of feasts? Would a basic meal really compete with gourmet eating? Perhaps the true feast that kept them through difficult times was the laughing and shared stories during these dinners. How did these shared eating events help to strengthen bonds among passengers? And among the clatter of dishes, what touching or terrible tales were passed? Number 5. Notable Edwardian celebrity travelers on the Titanic. When the top members of society board one ship, the Titanic was an event of Edwardian-era elites, not only a vacation. The passenger list of the ship, which carried people like silent cinema actress Dorothy Gibson and John Jacob Astor, attested to its splendor. But what horrors happened as they floated toward fate? Also boarding, but unhappily not surviving, were the Macy's magnates, Isidori and Ida Strauss. Could their legacy shape the next generations even in the wake of such catastrophe? How did the legacy of the Titanic change in the presence of these icons? How did their lives and stories entwine to provide the journey levels of richness and complexity? Among these well-known people, what personal histories stayed unspoken? Particularly in crises, what lessons did they leave behind that still ring true today? Number 6. The Titanic Gym. Who would have imagined the Edwardian elite housed on the Titanic had a gym? These guests knew fitness quite well, even though they ate expensive 13-share feasts. Their exercise regimens looked like what? Having stationary bikes and simple rowing machines, the gym showed early awareness of physical fitness. How did these venues let first-class men and women remain active even in full dress? In the Edwardian age, what defined a workout? Was their dedication to fitness only a component of their societal responsibilities, or did it provide a diversion from the immensity of their life? How might the Titanic's gym add to the whole passenger experience? And what legends of surprising alliances or rivalries developed in this special environment? Number 7. Tragedies of Titanic Elegance. Why, among the tumult of contemporary cruise ships, was the Titanic a model of elegance? Unlike the busy ships of today loaded with families, the Titanic embodied elegance and quiet. For its favored customers, what kind of amusement did it provide? Given that shuffleboard is a beloved pastime among the elderly, how did activities capture the social dynamics of the time? Among them was 17-year-old John D. Jack Thayer, who found himself in freezing waves as the ship sank. From those terrible events, what heroic stories sprang to light? How did leisure activities mirror the social mores of the day? As the ship headed toward disaster, did the leisure activities offer a false sense of protection? From the last hours of the Titanic, what startling tales of bravery and sacrifice emerged? What differences existed between the experiences of survivors and non-survivors? Number 8. Literary luxuries on the Titanic. Has a decent book ever comforted you? Passengers on the Titanic could enjoy a grand reading room, reflecting the extravagant lifestyle of the age. Comprising soft furnishings, the reading area gave guests a private haven where they may lose themselves in books. How did these silent times reflect the social divisions of the day? Among Titanic passengers, which were some best-selling books? Was the literature of the day a diversion from the reality of their life, or did it represent their goals and aspirations? How did this area promote relationships among the top of writers? And what dialogues among readers seeking solace in the pages of their beloved books set off? Number 9. First-class accommodations. For first-class Titanic guests, what did luxury mean? These large cabins provided families and their maids unmatched comfort outside of shuffleboard and good dining. Imagine sharing a suite with several bedrooms and even a fireplace. Designed in ostentatious fashion, the first-class sections were the height of oceanic travel. In what ways did these opulent lodgements define the expectations for next trips? How could the first-class cabinetry improve the travel experience? Did these lavish apartments reflect the socioeconomic level of their occupants, or did they also symbolize a way of life based on seclusion from others? Which conveniences did these cottages provide that are still unparalleled? And how did the way these areas were designed affect the aspirations for luxury travel for next generations? Number 10. Turkish baths on the Titanic. What if your trip could be completely surrounded by leisure? After savoring extravagant meals, the Titanic gave guests an opportunity to relax in Turkish baths. How did these baths allow visitors to relax in style, therefore acting as a luxury sign? In this realm of luxury, what else might they have found? How did these baths turn into Titanic's highlight? Were they only a luxury, or did they also provide a haven for people trying to find comfort among the social demands of the ship? For those looking for leisure, what other unusual conveniences were offered? And how did the Turkish bath experience mirror the cultural influences of the day? Number 11. A Chronicle of Two Classes. On the Titanic, what comforts did second-class passengers value? Though with a catch, first-class passengers had priority access. They tasted the good life with facilities like libraries and smoking rooms. What did this subdued hierarchy expose about the social structure of the time? How did it play out in common areas? Based on this arrangement, how does class divide aboard the ship? Did second-class travelers yearn for the seductiveness of first-class life, or were they happy with their rights? In what ways did second-class passengers negotiate these restrictions? And what aspirations of upward mobility found resonance in the brains of those living in less luxurious surroundings? Number 12. Exposing the real third-class travel story. How did Titanic third-class passengers challenge accepted ideas of poverty? Third-class travel was a major outlay. Tickets costing $40, equivalent to today's $1,000. Why did these visitors set out on such a trip? And how did their experiences defy assumptions? What do we discover about their aspirations when we follow their narratives? What goals did third-class passengers bring with them? Did their Titanic journey change their views of achievement and their identities? How did their paths mirror more general social concerns of the day? And whatever legacies did they leave behind that are still felt today? And there you have it, the amazing but terrible voyage of the Titanic, from its majesty and splendor to the breathtaking tales of everyone on board. What does the Titanic actually reflect? Is it a warning of the frailty of human aspiration, or just a sad story of luxury and loss? Goodbye for now.